Okay. So, Carey,
You're
we
being
are.
recorded. Give us permission to record you, bro.
Yeah, you need to say, I, Carey James, give my permission to be recorded.
Really? Whoa! Is this going on? Where's this video going to be? Is this going to be on a dirty website? What's going on?
Yeah.
I give you permission.
Thank you.
to,
Thank you, Mr. Carey. So, here we are in Ho Chi Minh City.
But I don't think we're recording until
Right.
you press.
No, it
is
is
recording. Okay, good.
recording.
Good. Awesome. Okay. So, yeah.
First try.
Okay, ready and action.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome,
Good to see everybody here. Here we are in Ho Chi Minh City,
Vietnam, baby.
otherwise known as Saigon City. And we are going to be talking to our good friend, Carey, today.
James.
Oh,
Carey James.
That's right.
what's up, homies? How you doing? I'm not in Ho Chi Minh City.
Where are you?
Where
are you right
Tell us where you are. And
I'm in a little town called Hamburg, Germany, at the moment.
Oh, what are you?
What am I doing here? I'm actually, I couldn't tell you, man. I'm still wondering that myself. It's funny since the COVID-19 thing happened. Actually, I came out here to stay with my girlfriend for a little while. She's from here, so came out here to stay with my girlfriend for a little while, and over the holidays, and then this whole pandemic hit, and now it's just kind of like turned into home for the time being. So there's no flights in and out at the moment, so we're just kind of making the best of the situation and
about 3 months.
breaking the Deutsch, yeah.
You left about like 2 or 3 months ago, right? Because we were with you here in Ho Chi Minh City,
The last time we saw you.
and you said, "Hey guys,
I'll be right back."
I'll be right back. I'm going for a short trip," and now
Yeah.
you're still not here.
Yeah, I was supposed to be gone for like a month, and now it's been, I think we're going on 6 months, about five months.
So,
Yeah.
let me just start. Give us a little bit of background. So, you left here and you went back home, right? You went to Kansas?
Yeah.
And then?
Yeah, so background was staying in Ho Chi Minh City off and on for about 4 years. And then the idea was to go home, was to go to back to America to visit some family, and then stop by Germany, swoop up my girlfriend, and then go back to Vietnam. But that didn't happen really. So went to, started out in LA. That was the first place I went, visited some old friends there. Then went to Kansas, enjoyed the holidays, gained about 5 kilos. Then went to New York City and hung out with my friend. He just bought a place in upstate New York, which is like super fun. Got to see like the New York Christmas. And then made it to Germany, finally. Germany is really dope. Got to see a few different places. Just been traveling, going to, we went to Zurich, Switzerland, and then went to Prague. Got to see our friend Tomas, whom you guys also know. And then we're like, yeah, okay, so we're going to go back to Asia after that. But that's when somebody in China decided to eat a bat, and things didn't work out quite like we planned, Them damn meat eaters, ruining it for all of us. But yeah, now chilling here, and then the plan is once everything opens back up is to go actually back to America, because it's time to go visit family again, and then back to Vietnam.
Interesting, man. You never know where life is going to take you sometimes.
Until you get there.
Yeah,
We
it's pretty
are.
wild.
6 months later.
Yeah.
And here we are. You guys are still in Vietnam. What's going on there? Give me an update.
Situation here, I'm kind of stuck here. I was supposed to go visit Toronto almost 4 months ago, and I'm still here. So no idea when I'm going to be able to leave too. I mean, we're pretty good here in Vietnam. They haven't had a single death here. So they've kind of started opening things up, and now this coffee shop that we're in has opened up, and I think that bars and restaurants are still not open. So it's partially open. But in the West, like in Toronto, not many things are open right now. They're just hoping to start opening up a little bit. But it's a lot worse there than here. So I don't think I'm going to be able to go there for at least a couple of months.
Yeah, in Germany, it's starting to open back up. They're doing Like you can swing by stores just to like pick things up to take away. The hair salon opened up yesterday, which is pretty exciting in the neighborhood.
Fresh cut.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to. I was going full Super Saiyan there for a while, Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan, but now I think it's time to cut it back down. So going to do that this week. But yeah, here, I mean, it was one of the epicenters for a little while in the news, as you guys saw. But Germany has a really good healthcare system, so things didn't go too badly. Not as many deaths, definitely people dying, but not as many as compared to the ratio of infected or sick people to dying people compared to other countries like America, for example.
Really? America's number one, man.
Number one, always. Never forget it. Yeah.
USA.
Hey, you know what? In Colombia, they have an interesting dynamic going on.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to share?
Please, let's hear all about it.
The president announced that the solution was going to be open up things slowly, and they were going to have one day of the week for only men going outside, and then the day after that, only the women. And they were going to alter the days like that until the next step of the procedure. What do you think about it?
And those people who are trans, they have to stay indoors.
The trans people have to stay indoors. They're not allowed to.
Trannies,
But it's true. It's actually one day women, and the day after that, only men. So what do you think about the solution that they created?
I mean, yeah. So I'm taken, so it doesn't matter to me either way. Doesn't really bother me. I got someone to go home to every night, but yeah, I mean, I could see it being an interesting time to go out on Women's Day, on the Ladies' Day. It would be interesting to go see what the world is like when only women run things. There's the woman bus driver, the woman cashier, and it's just all ladies on the Ladies' Day. And on the Guys' Day, I would just stay home. Fuck that.
Wouldn't want to get.
It's Colombia. Things happen there. So yeah, I would stay home on Guys' Day. On Women's Day, I would definitely be curious to see what the world's like. There's probably rainbows and butterflies everywhere, on the Women's Day. People are super peaceful.
You have the perfect.
Huh? What's that?
Wig.
A wig. Yeah, of course. I could just borrow Jay's wig. No problem.
Yeah, I've got a couple of wigs, man. You know that.
Yeah. Perfect. How's business on that side of the pond?
Let's get the questions rolling, baby.
Yeah, let's get a little bit serious here.
We have
all
some
fun and games aside.
Yeah.
We do have some serious questions for you.
Let's hear it.
First one.
It's a serious question, but we expect a fun answer. Okay?
I'm nervous now. Let's do it.
Okay, so first question. What brings you joy these days with the new indoors lifestyle?
And
Ooh,
one second,
joy.
say one thing that for the people who might not know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself.
Yeah.
So basically, right now, digital nomad life coach. I'm coaching people online in everything from business to life direction to accountability, things like this. I have a bit of a background in sales, so I do a little bit of sales at the same time, like business development for different companies, but mostly doing coaching right now. And funny enough, that's been, during this time, there's a lot of people at home reconsidering the direction of their life. So it's been an interesting dynamic to see all around the world. Yeah, doing that, and then also hosting my own podcast called The Fail Fighters, which has been, we've been getting some pretty consistent episodes in lately, just regarding people's failures and how they've been, how they've experienced failure in their life and overcame it to go on to see success. So yeah, those are my current projects.
By the way,
Sorry?
highly recommended to the listeners of our podcast. Check out Fail Fighter.
Failfighters.com, guys. feel free to check it out. Yeah. And then what brings me joy? Okay, so bringing the things that bring joy in this time that, you know, in comparison to before, of course, getting to spend time with my girlfriend. She's pretty amazing. Getting to spend a lot of, you know, quality time at home. I think some, you know, people are probably going a bit crazy right now. I heard the divorce attorneys are making a bank at the moment because everybody's being stuck, you know, with their significant others. But what happened with me and my girlfriend is kind of the opposite happened when we grew a little bit closer together, you know.
Pretty awesome.
Just getting to hang out. Yeah.
Right?
Sorry?
You hadn't been together for that long, and then all of a sudden you were put into this situation where you have to spend all this time together. For a lot of people,
24/7.
like you said, it doesn't work out. But for some very lucky people like you, it did work out, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been cool, just like having, you know, a partner in crime to survive the apocalypse with. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be alone, you know, right now. So we've been focusing a lot on, you know, being productive and, you know, try to build routines, then just going outside. It's funny, like when you can't go to indoor places out into the world, you go to the outdoors. So we've been going to the park and just like hanging out in the grass. Of course, you know, not around people, keeping our distance, but just doing running, doing exercise, workouts, all that kind of stuff. Playing Frisbee, doing bicycles, this kind of thing. And it's been cool because in the city, you know, the first few months I was here, I felt like didn't really see a lot of the city itself. I saw a few clubs and restaurants and, you know, that kind of thing. But since then, going outside and walking around, you know, like enjoying nature has been a big priority. So now I feel like I really know the city.
Nice.
Carey, we tried for the first time putting together this podcast in a cafeteria, and as you can notice, there's a lot of noise, so we apologize for it.
And there's
All good.
music
Yeah.
in the background. Hope it doesn't bother you too
There's
much.
like a party going on here. It's cool time. Hands off.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys could like, it would be better. It would be like less awkward if you guys just like danced a little. Then it would be like, it would make sense, you know, if you guys just kind of like, there you go, that's better.
Music going on.
Now everything works.
You get the moves. All right, let's go. What was that?
We'll put some
Hey,
background
do you
music
see
on
Jay?
that,
Do
man.
you see Jay? What
Those
was
are some moves that I've been holding back. You don't see those very often.
Yeah,
Bringing those skills,
I don't want to be.
bringing back the 90s. Love it.
Like you said, you know, being quarantined with the right person can make all the difference because if you're with the wrong person, oh my God, it could be worse than prison. You know, I haven't spent this much time at home with my wife and little baby ever. I used to spend maybe maximum 2 or 3 hours a day at home and, you know, at least 8 to 10 hours outside. And all of this extra time, I thought it's going to kind of drive me stir crazy. But, you know, if you keep yourself busy, if you keep yourself productive, it can be a very good thing. And so that's how I've looked at this whole quarantine thing. I've been very happy at home. It's been a lot of fun. In fact, I think I've grown closer to my wife and to the little girl than I ever have. So it's been a good thing for me. But yeah, I've been hearing from a lot of other people, and of course in the popular space, they talk about how many people are just driving each other nuts. You know, families falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever, you know, people are experiencing at home right now is just like kind of a deeper manifestation of what was already there. It brings things to the surface, you know. It brings, like, for example, lingering thoughts about your career all of a sudden are pushed to the forefront. Lingering thoughts about your relationship that may or may not have been working out already come to the forefront. So it's the great consciousness. What would we call it? Yeah, the great increase of consciousness in 2020. We got to see it, guys.
Jay is trying to get people to lower the volume down so we can actually hear and speak to you, my friend, because it's very important.
So I just talked to the management. I worked my charm. They've lowered the volume, as you can hear.
Are you still wearing pants? Where did you just go?
Let me. I owe these guys a favor now, and I'm gonna have to pay it after this is over. So it's my first
Part two.
Say it's
Part two.
This week.
first time this week, of course.
This week,
of course.
of course.
Come on.
Come on, guys.
I'm not a newbie.
I'm not a
Come
newbie
on.
in these games.
So, tell us a little bit about how things have been for your work, what you do. Has this been a good thing for you? How have you been able to make the best use of this for your work?
Wait, I want to add something. So you work with digital nomads. So that's people that actually already have been in the space where you can work from anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah. Well, the main, type of people that I work with are people that are starting businesses and that are, working online or thinking about working online, that kind of thing. So it's been, I would say a lot more people are searching out there right now. I wouldn't say people are as, quick to invest as much before, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but there's a lot of people actively looking, for answers and looking for direction. So, but you would be surprised. Like there's a coaching company that I work with actually that trains coaches, and so many people are signing up to do these things that are coming from all different backgrounds, they're signing up for new personal development courses. They're signing up for, even doing languages, things like this. And I would say, I'm not going to, paint a super rosy picture. Like there's definitely a lot of people that are hurting and not having as much money, but at the same time, people are developing themselves. They're looking at it as an opportunity. And I think a lot of people expected that this whole thing would kind of cause a mental health crisis where everybody would just like kind of give up and be depressed. But I think the exact opposite is happening, is people are being, pushed to a little bit, pushed a little bit further and challenged a bit further than what they normally would be to develop themselves. Some of them, aren't having as much of a choice. It's like they kind of have to evolve to survive, which isn't a bad thing.
And I think that a lot of people don't get this kind of an opportunity to put into personal development. I mean, everybody would love to, take this course or do this or do that, or they're too busy with life and work and this and that, and all of a sudden you get this amazing length of free time that you can do anything you want, and you kind of, it's almost a blessing, because I've been able to do the same thing as you're talking about. I've been able to take a couple of courses online. One is a drawing course, and I love it because I've always wanted to pick that up again, and I've never had time. And so I'm not a guy who likes to dabble in something. So now that I've got all this free time, I've been doing a little bit of that and getting a lot of value out of it, and I've been able to evolve, like you said.
Can you draw me, or is that a possibility? Can we set up a session?
I will draw you.
Okay.
You have to stay still for at least an hour or two, and you'll have to be naked, of course.
Okay. Yeah, draw me like one of those French girls. Draw me like one of your French girls.
Yeah.
Think you could do that? Yeah.
You have to be lying on your side like this,
Okay.
So
I could do that.
crisis has been the catalyst for Jay's hidden talents, as you can see.
Yes.
Going. For myself, I discovered the connection with family. You know that my mom, she's living with me, and she now has to hang out with me. Meanwhile, all of this is going on here in Vietnam. She came from Colombia, and now.
And 7 months ago was the first time this guy had seen her in almost 7 years. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Great.
It's all about connection. And the main thing I realized is that sometimes we are there, but we are not with them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as well, I kind of like I deleted my social media apps, and that has given me back so much time, so much control over my day. And I realized
Yeah.
how much connection you miss out in the real world when you're focusing this technological. That has been my perspective, my experience so far.
I actually think that it seems these days that our outdoor world and our online world are kind of merging now, especially with us being a bit more open to taking classes online and spending more time online, talking to people on Zoom and things like this, which we've become forced to do because of this pandemic. But it's almost made it a lot more comfortable for most people. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody wanted to take online courses before. They're like, yeah, I'd rather be there in person, this and that. Online, it's kind of weird. And now, more people have tried it. I think online education and training has skyrocketed in the last several weeks, and people are starting to realize, actually, this is kind of good. There's advantages to this as opposed to going in person to take class. So I think that our online and offline worlds are kind of merging and becoming a bit more common.
Yeah, it's the first step into the the virtual reality AR kind of boom. We're all moving online and getting our social needs and social connections met through computers rather than actually seeing them in person. Totally. And is that a good or a bad thing? I'm not really sure, because for some people that can't, connect in person or have limited means to connect in person, it's a really good thing for them that everybody's kind of, jumping on board. It's like we're being physically further apart, but being, closer together connection wise. So it's cool to see. There's some people that I've been talking to more and more because of this situation, and because we're more open to having online chats. Like, for example, a friend in LA that I've been talking to, we never even talked in the last like 5 years, but since this happened, we've been keeping updated and chatting and having like Zoom calls and stuff. So
not
who knows which direction it'll head. One thing, I mean, of course I'm going to be happy when people aren't getting sick again, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of, it's already starting to go back to normal in some places. Like, I know schools are starting to open up and everything. So it's like, there will always be that little like, oh, that moment in time when everyone in the world was stuck at home. And I think we'll be remembering that for, a long time to come. What will it look like now? Not really sure, but we know what it looked like for a little while and how it changed people.
Absolutely. How do you feel things are going to be now that things are getting back to normal? Do you think it's ever going to go back to exactly normal, or how do you think things are going to be?
Not until there's a vaccine, and I think it will be used to take away some rights in some countries, to restrict rights, and that's debatable about whether or not it should be taken away and things like that. Like, there's a lot of debate in America between I would say between even sane people, not just the crazy people are debating it now. Like, even the sane people are talking about, like, should this even be allowed to be forcing people to stay at home? If people want to get sick and die, it's kind of their choice. So I do think that politically, this is going to have repercussions for a while, in America at least, about whether, governments can exert that level of control over people. Yeah, I mean, we'll be wearing masks for a while until they find a vaccine. But even after that, there's, like, for example, small businesses. There's a huge chunk of small businesses that are just like, that have disappeared. That even with business loans, they won't come back because they were already, small businesses are already, they're not, yeah, they could just, they don't have the backups. They don't have, you know, the systems in place to keep them going after a situation like this. So a lot of small businesses will close or have closed and will stay closed. Bigger businesses are going to grab more of the market share and going to, you know, control things a bit more. That's from like an economic perspective. So there's the economic, the political, and then, you know, from the personal perspective, I think things are going to go back to normal. You know, maybe people will be more in touch with you know, how they spend their time, their personal time, and not get as easily distracted by what's going on out at the club or, you know, things like this. So yeah, hopefully it goes in a good direction, and hopefully the waters stay clean and the animals and the pollution doesn't get as bad as it was before.
It's amazing. I mean, I've heard that they've shown on satellite images over some cities how the air is completely, you know, changed. It's so clean. Places like New Delhi that are I think that's one of the top cities for pollution. They've showed how different it looks now. Skies are blue, everything's got color. You know, before that you couldn't even see the sky. So it's made a lot of difference to the environment. That's for sure. That all of the industry.
And Ho Chi Minh City, I'm so jealous that you guys get to see Ho Chi Minh City without pollution. You know, I think during Tet holiday when everybody's gone, that's the only other time it's clear like that. But couldn't imagine what it's like now to see that insane beehive of a city totally chilled out. So document everything.
Except the cafe.
It's nice and quiet, except for here in the cafe.
It's cafe. It's the only one.
The cafe is the only loud place in town, huh?
The only
cool. Well, it's been real, guys, and I'm excited to come back. Excited to come see what it's like. I'd be on a plane if that's even allowed. Sorry, what?
Germany.
Are you allowed to get out soon?
Yeah. So it's allowed to go to, you know, restaurants and cafes and stuff. So we're actually going to go. Well, you're not allowed to sit there, but you're allowed to go out. So things are pretty much open now, except for like the big places. Yeah.
When are you allowed to leave the country?
Oh, the country. I don't really know. Whenever they kick me out, I don't know. We're figuring that out at the moment. They said until June 30th, there's going to be a lot of, you know, limitations. So we'll see how that goes.
30th.
But yeah.
Okay.
Planning to be back around August is the idea.
Hey, Carey, one last question before you go.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the greatest gift you have received from this pandemic in your personal life?
Cooking skills. Yeah. been learning how to cook more. That's good. And just being able to spend time with my girlfriend, which is nice. Who's right here?
We're looking forward to the meeting you're gonna
spending time with this kid. That's been fun.
Hi.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.
So awesome talking to you, Carey. You're frozen on our side. We're still going here.
I don't think they're frozen. They're just good at the game.
I think they're just staying still.
They just stay still.
Anyways, it was awesome talking to Carey.
He's a good guy. This guy. What a
fantastic guy.
second.
Check him out.
Check him out.
Check him out on his Fail Fighters podcast, and also check him out in person. That's Carey